but we'll do this anyway. Like I already did a PTR patch analysis, so I'll like go through this part quickly because the only thing that's new is this stuff. Because I think Blizzard's gonna roll the patch out next week early after BTS tournament and all that other stuff. So it's kind of risky, I think, for them to go straight to live with these changes. Not that I really care if they go to live with these changes because it'll change the game regardless, but I'm not sold on the fact that the game hasn't, like they haven't done significant testing with it. Because this post says we don't typically have time to try multiple configurations to our hero balance, but the extended length of this PTR gives us a unique opportunity. Throughout the PTR, we'll be continuously adjusting our hero stats. None of these changes to be considered final, but I don't think that they changed much at all. Like between the patches, because I think that this patch change right here is the problem, or like I foresee problems with this patch note, the ultimate cost thing, because the way the game is structured right now, offense like needs to team wipe to win maps. The overtime stuff, like the second half of maps where like you'll cap and then you have to try to cap again, is like very reliant on the fact that you finish the map, you know? So I don't like the idea of games coming down to distance more so than completion. I mean, I'm okay with distance for second half, but distance for first half is kind of weird to me. I mean, distance in general is weird to me because doesn't feel competitive. It feels like lucky in some ways. Like if someone gets 100 meters and you get 101, are you really the better team? Like stuff like that. Because like a lot of factors go into that. You could have like lucky ults, you could have compositional changes, you could have weird RNG stuff, like a scatter arrow might like screw your entire push and then you're upset. So the fact that this change might make defense win more often in the first half, I think will make the game less competitive in that sense. I mean, there's also the argument that ultimates are going to cost less, or they'll cost more, so they'll be up less often, so the game will be less ult dependent. But I'm not sure, like after playing with this, I'm not positive that that's like going to be the case, because you still need to get team wipes. I don't know. And then, well, I mean, we'll talk about, let's just talk everything, because I don't really want to do it patch note by patch note. But my point being, I'm not sure that this is okay in the long run, and I think this will just force defense to win more games all the time. D.Va mech increase, like the mech change to D.Va I think is also a huge change because they nerfed Zarya down here. I already talked about this, and I thought at the beginning, like my initial reaction was that this isn't that big of a change. Like I don't see Zarya or D.Va being picked, but after playing against PTR D.Va enough times, I think she's like annoying. Like she's not good, but she's annoying. And there's so many times where you'll be playing like Anubis or Hanamura, and suddenly the D.Va comes out of spawn. You have to like kill the D.Va. You have to get through the defense matrix, and she just stalls the shit out of the point for like however long it takes for you to kill her. So I'm not sold on this being healthy for the game, just this change to the 200 health. I'm all about the movement speed because I agree her movement speed was shit, but just giving her more health makes her stall out games harder. And yeah, like I don't know, I don't think she needs an extra 100 health of armor. The 76 stuff, he's like very powerful. He might be, I don't know, I don't want to say he's too powerful, but he'll be very good in the right hands. There's a lot of players that used to play 76 a lot, and I think that they'll come back to the top. But yeah, I don't know. But back to this D.Va thing, I'm just scared of like how you would beat. All right, so like here's like a comp, right? Mercy, Sombra, D.Va, Reinhardt, Zarya, Mei defense. So like D.Va can like live, Reinhardt, like you have Mercy for all the heals, you have Sombra for the health packs, Mei can self-sustain, and then you just have to heal up the Reinhardt and the Zarya essentially, because everyone else is self-sustaining. Or the Mercy and the D.Va rather. The D.Va and the Reinhardt, blah. Like it's so tanky, and I don't know how you actually kill it. Because you don't want to run Tracer against Mercy anymore, or you won't run Tracer against Mercy if there's a Sombra, because Sombra will just shit on Tracer. Even Genji's kind of risky to run into a Sombra. So I feel like a Sombra defense with a Mercy is going to be very good on some maps. Maybe not like super good, but definitely worth playing around with. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the diva thing just makes stall comps better, and she just like that extra health doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. Nano boost no longer increases move speed. I think one thing I want to point out is that I don't like the way that Blizzard handles the updates. I think when the meta is so stale for so long that it's completely fine to make a change mid-season, like just screw the meta, because I don't like the idea of seasons being stuck on one patch. And it kind of felt like they were going for that this season. I don't remember season 1 how much they changed in between the season, but this season felt really dragged out because I felt like Nano Boost was always like, if you weren't running Ana, you weren't trying to win. Like that was kind of how the game went. So I don't know why they didn't just do something like this earlier, because it's literally been like 3 months of this meta of watching nano boosted anything, and it's really gotten boring in my eyes. Like from a spectator perspective, from an analyst perspective, from a casting perspective, like hyping up a nano boosted Death Blossom is not exciting, and like hyping up a nano boosted Roadhog or Reinhardt's not exciting. So I think in the future it'd be smart for them, or like they should definitely take a step back. Yeah, you're right. They changed the hero limit, but that was like really necessary. And I think this was also really necessary. Just some form of nerf mid-season would have been fine, and I don't think anybody would have. Ultimate cost increased by 15%. I've played enough Mei on PTR. She's not much worse. I think she'll still be a top tier pick. She's really good against Sombra. She's really good against tanks. She's really good with Sombra. She's really good. She's just good. Mei's just going to be good. I think Mei will be like insta pick on most defenses. Not every map, obviously, but most. Like Kings Row, Hollywood. Not sure. Maybe, yeah, Gibraltar. Dorado. Yeah, most. I think Mei will be insta pick, I guess is where I'm going. Lucio, amp it up. Healing per second has been decreased. This isn't that big of. I mean, it's a big nerf, but it's not enough to get him not picked anymore. Speed boost is still speed boost, so it doesn't matter. The Zarya nerfs are pretty huge to the point where I don't know why they're doing. Like, I don't like the way that they handle their nerfs sometimes, because this is like a recurring theme. When they feel like a hero is overpowered or too strong or too highly picked, they like nerf the damage. But like Lucio used to be able to 1v1 tracers and like Genjis. You could actually do enough damage with Lucio's left clicks that you could like 1v1 a tracer. Not consistently, but it wasn't like super hard. But now you can't do that, and like Lucio isn't that enjoyable to play unless you're playing like super aggressive Lucio, which I think a lot of people struggle with, especially at lower levels, and even at higher levels people are afraid sometimes. When I play Lucio, I don't find it boring, but I know a lot of people do, because you don't really get kills, and it's not as interesting as other heroes, I think. So I don't like that they're doing the same thing to Zarya. Like, the reason why Zarya is good isn't because of her damage. Nerfing her damage just makes her less fun to play, but she's still going to need to be insta-pick. You might see less Zarya on defense with this, and you'll like see the transition maybe to like, that's when the Sombra will be good. Maybe you'll run Sombra to counter the offensive Zarya. But I think defensive Zarya might be too rough. Or the other way around. I think defensive Zarya will be good, but offensive Zarya will be bad. Because the only time you'll get gravitons, like if you screw up a graviton on offense with Zarya and you're running Zarya, you'll lose, because you might not get a second one before the game is over. So there's a lot of times right now where people don't get gravitons, like on King of the Hill maps. Like, you'll finish an entire round and someone just will have never gotten graviton. That's going to happen a lot more. And Zarya's ult is really good, but she's not only her ult. Like, her ult is super good, but she's not like a hero that you only pick for her ult. So she's still going to get picked a lot. It's just not, like, she's just going to be less damage dealing. And to be honest with you guys, like, damage in this game needs to be high because healing is so high. Like, out damaging Ana nuke and Lucio heals is so hard that I don't know why you would nerf damage in general, because I feel like getting kills is already pretty hard unless you're playing like one of like 4 or 5 heroes. Like, for the other 18 heroes, getting kills is not easy, and I don't like making Zarya harder to 1v1 with. Like, there's an enjoyment factor in being able to 1v1s Reapers and stuff and McCree's as Zarya, and I think removing that makes her like feel like a pseudo support as opposed to a like defensive or offensive hero. So I don't really like this change, to be honest with you. They changed the scrap. This used to be overpowered when it came out because you would get armor during spawn time, but they nerfed that. I'm not sold on this change. Like, the amount of scrap collected, whatever. Like, this is crazy to me because the only time, all right, so like you guys watch my stream, you know that I'll pick Torbjorn, and it like won't be a troll Torbjorn. Like, it's an actual like, let's just run Torbjorn, because like I don't mind screwing with the meta, because in pubs people can't play half the good heroes anyway. And you'll see me win games with Torbjorn. Like, Torbjorn's very good in the right situations, and I feel like this nerfs the situations that he's good in. Like the scenario where you win a team fight on Volskaya or on Hanamura last, and you get like this crazy team wipe, like counter team wipe on the point, and then you like switch off Tracer and go straight to Torbjorn because you can pick up like 9 armors off the floor and just throw them all over the place. Like, that's when Torbjorn's super good, and that nerf, this is nerfed now, and like that was like the only situation where I felt like he was really good. I think the reason why you don't see it in pro games is because they're afraid. 1, 2, they're like bad and not thinking about it. I mean, I say bad, but they're just not thinking about it. And 3, it's probably more risky, but it's definitely good. Like, the ability to give your entire team an extra 75 armor with damage reduction is very big, especially on defense. Like, when teams have to deal with a turret, the left click, the right click, and then an extra effective HP of like 100-ish per hero on your team, that's like a lot. And that nerfs that scenario. So now you're just gonna run Torbjorn full time, which is like, or you'll have to run it the entire match. You won't be able to switch to it mid-round. Like, it won't be as good when you switch to it mid-round. So as far as making him be played more, I don't think that this does that for him, because he's still not consistently good. But the change to like not taking damage or whatever, or the world spawn, like the spawn thing was not taking damage, was a big deal, because now his turret doesn't like feed enemy heroes ult, which. But yeah, I don't know if this affects his pick rate. Call mech. This was just to fix it when they increased the 20%. They made it so that like it took longer for you to get back your suit after you lost your suit. So that's just them fixing that. This was really crazy. I feel like they nerfed Widow sometime. Like, this patch happened, and then I feel like they changed it, but they didn't like. They kept patching PTR, but they never wrote in changes, because it felt like this charge rate thing was super fast, but I know for a fact that it's not 20% anymore. Because I've played Widow on PTR, and it's not super overpowered like it was like the day it came out. I don't know why they're nerfing Venomine or buffing Venomine, because it was good, you know? Like, if you could play Genji or something and force the Widow to eat their mind, like, that was just extra damage for you. So I don't know why they buff her twice. Like, she didn't need 2 buffs. She was good in this patch. She wasn't like the best. Like, I'll play her even now. Like, Kefri plays her like all the time, and he'll still win games. So it's not impossible to run her. It's just teams don't do it. And like, you could argue about synergy and stuff like that, and like, teams are good and other teams are bad, and like, maybe some players don't have some teams don't have a Genji, some teams have really good Genjis. You could argue McCree is better, which is definitely true. It's just, she wasn't unpickable, and I feel like this makes her like, why do you want her picked more, I guess is my question. Like, if you had to pick heroes in the game to be played all the time or something, why would you be pushing for Widowmaker? Because like, you're buffing Widowmaker, you're buffing 76, but in my opinion, Pharah's like the most enjoyable hero to watch. Then you go to Pharah. Then they changed the explosion damage, which I like the increase, because I felt like there were times where you would hit like splash rockets and they do absolutely no damage. But the knockback change I think is awful, because there's a lot of time, like in TF2, you would hit a rocket and you juggle somebody, like it would push them up in the air, Then you hit them again, and you would just continually juggle them if you hit your shots. So that was a thing, and it made it so when you hit your first rocket, you could like predict your second rocket because they would move in that direction. But when you remove that knockback, it means like now if I shoot a Widowmaker, she can move forward, left, back, right. It doesn't stun her. Like, I don't want to say it was a stun, but in TF2 it was like kind of a stun. It was like, there weren't stuns in TF2. But when you shot a rocket, it threw somebody, and they couldn't really control their direction. They could air strafe a little bit, but they couldn't really control their direction. So removing that is weird to me. I don't like it. I think it makes Pharah worse. Like, this makes her worse, but I feel like you should be pushing to make her better. Passive health regen now kicks in when Mercy avoids taking damage for 1 second. This is a big buff. It's not the biggest buff. I don't think it solves Mercy's problem. I think Mercy's problem is that players are too set on like 5-man reses, when 9 times out of 10 a 5-man res is never good, is not good at all. There's a huge discrepancy in playstyle between offensive Mercy and defensive Mercy, and the game doesn't do a good job of educating the players enough to where they should know the difference. I don't like the idea of Mercy's ever getting play of the game, to be honest with you, because it promotes bad behavior more so than other heroes. Like, obviously a 3-man graviton is good, right? But you don't ever really get a 5-man graviton anyway, so people have just realized like, okay, I can get a 3-man, like it's fine, a 2-man, like we need to win this fight, it's fine. There's still a lot of weird scenarios like that where I feel like the players are just undereducated. But I feel like Mercy's problem is, first of all, that like she doesn't, when she reses, she like generally always dies because nobody's running like high ground heroes much anymore. Maybe next patch they'll run Pharahs and Genjis and Sombras and stuff to keep you alive, but her dying during res makes her arguably the worst hero in the game now. She used to be overpowered back in the day when her blue beam was like 50% damage increase and like McCree could one-shot people from across the map. But when you compare her damage output bonus to like the heals that you can get from a Lucio and a Ana now, it's not super good. And the concept of res is not exciting anymore because back in the day people were really bad. When this game came out, everyone was awful. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, people didn't save cooldowns, like people didn't play ult economy in the first couple months, and like that's when Mercy was really good, was because like people would be like, oh shit, they res, and like nobody knew how to deal with it. And like as the game got older, people realized like, oh, we can graviton them after, or like we should save our earth shatter so we can earth shatter them after the res, or we can put our pulse bomb down and kill them after, like that way. So now that teams have realized how to play against Mercy, she's not good because of the fact that she's so defenseless. When you compare her to all the other heroes in the game that are healers or supports, she's easily the least survivable without your teammates' competence, and I don't like that at all. You either need to make her, I honestly think you could like buff her in such a way that she gets her ult buff on herself, like so when you res, it gives her the res buff so she becomes invulnerable. That might be a good buff. I don't know if it would be too strong. But her problem is that she dies. Like, resing 5 people into bad positioning when like during that time the enemy team can reposition, heal, and like get ready to throw all their spells is, that's why she's bad. And then one new change to play with, Pharah hover jeffs. This was really good. I played Pharah actually a couple days ago. Lift increased by 35%. She goes really high and she goes pretty fast. So you have a lot more room with Pharah now. Like, you can do a lot more. You're way more mobile. You can control your air directions a lot better. I don't remember if my jetpack was like resetting when I was playing, but I felt like I was in the air for a lot longer on PTR last week, or this week rather. So I mean, overall we'll definitely see more Pharah, which will give people incentive to play Mercy, I guess, but I'm not sold on Mercy yet. Although Mercy might be really good now just because of the fact that Ana's less good. Like, this nerf to Ana's pretty big. I'm not sure what heroes you can even nano boost reliably now. Where is it? Nano boosted Genji still, like, do you need nano boost on a Dragon Blade without the speed boost? Is it really that much better? I don't think so. McCree is definitely still good, but nano boosted high noons are pretty hard to hit, I would argue. I mean, some teams do it pretty well, but McCree's good. Farah is really good to nano boost, but you have to like protect her, so you still need the Zarya, I think. Although maybe not. Farah might become like top tier nano boost combo material. Reaper, he'll be probably about the same, just less. If that makes sense. Nano Soldier, I mean, it's good, but it relies on the enemy team just like not being in the right positioning. Like a nano boosted high noon will generally do more than a nano boosted 76, like 9 times out of 10. I mean, every single time, because if a 76 has line of sight, a McCree would also have line of sight. Nano boosted Sombra is awful. I've tried it. It's garbage. Nano boosted Tracer's not good. Bastion, I mean, if you're running Bastion, it's fine, I guess. Hanzo no, Junkrat no, Mei no, Torbjorn. Torbjorn's actually really good nano boosted, but you don't see this combo often enough. Diva will be so hard to kill, but I'm not sure that she'll actually get kills again. She's very kiteable. Reinhardt will be just as good as he was. I mean, you'll probably use it differently now. Instead of like initiating with nano boost, you'll probably use it to save your teammates instead of like trying to get kills for your teammates. Like when I was just playing my pub, I used it on Mezzer a few times when I thought he was going to die to something, and it's good in that sense because it's like a shallow grave. Nano Booster Roadhog is good, but Nano Booster Roadhog relies on the enemy not having like Earth Shatter or McCree Flashbang, because if he gets stunned out of whole hog, it's not good at all. Nano Boosted Winston's weird. Like I thought it was really good before because of the speed boost, but without the speed boost, it's just a Winston running at you. I don't think you'll Nano Boost Winston unless there's like a comp against, like you're against a comp that really dies to Winston, like Hanzo, Genji, Widowmaker, stuff like that. Zarya, meh. And then the supports, not so, like she's definitely not as good. So you might see more Mercy just because of the fact that the speed boost is gone. Widowmaker will get picked more, but Sombra kind of dumps on Widowmaker now, so there's going to be a lot more hero swapping for sure in this patch. Like more, or there's going to need to be. I don't think that the players right now are at a position where they can play a lot of the heroes at the level that they think that they need to play it at. I mean, they're afraid, obviously. Like, there's not a lot of people that'll switch off Tracer to McCree to Reaper during a match. Like, there's only like a handful that'll even do it or think about doing it. But I think with this patch, it's going to come down to compositions more than strategy, which, in my opinion, is better for the game. It's more enjoyable to watch, but it's going to make some teams really bad. Like, there's going to be a lot of top teams, I think, that are just awful now, or they won't be as good as they were before this patch hits. Like, if I had to take bets, I would say Fnatic is going to be a lot worse. I think Envious will be a lot better. I think C9 will be a lot better. FaZe will probably be just as good. Rogue, I don't know what, Rogue will probably be worse. Just because of the fact that you need to swap more. So like the rosters with really deep pools are gonna do better than the ones without. Like I felt like Fnatic only did one strategy for the entire duration of like all of their matches for the past month or two. And while that's good, like good on them, they got really good at it. I don't know that it's sustainable in the long run. NRG, I don't think will be good still because I think it'll be a double hit scan meta more so than hit scan projectile. Or the problem with it will be if you're running single hit scan, then they can switch to Pharah, and if you can't double hit scan, you'll just lose to Pharah comps. I think like Mercy Pharah against a team that can only run a McCree but like can't run a Tracer or a Sombra or a 76. Like if you can't run McCree and 76, then Pharah's, or like if you're, I don't know, if you're not running Ana, I guess Discord's still a problem, but I think Pharah can deal with Zenyatta a little bit better now and definitely deal with McCree and stuff a little bit better. So teams that have that Pharah pick in their pocket, I think will succeed. And teams that can't run 2 DPS will fail because of the fact that the McCree will, or the Pharah will be good. NRG might actually be better because Clockwork on DPS or on hit scan while Seagull plays Pharah might be really strong, but they have weird compositional issues and like teamwork issues to work out. But I guess from a straight compositional standpoint, they might actually be better. FaZe might be good too, or better too, because Shadowburn's actually just as good at Pharah as he is at Genji. So then we're done with this. Talk about this hero for a second, because there's a lot of videos already. People have been making videos all week on this hero, and it pisses me off because I know for a fact that half of them haven't even played her, and if they have played her, they haven't played her well, and they haven't figured out like what she's good, and they haven't played against her enough too. Like there's this weird, there's like, I hate this too in my eyes. This is what pisses me off about video games sometimes, or at least like videos and people in general that make videos, is like, even gamers, like this is like a deep thing. Like, don't quote, you guys can quote me all you want, but in order to understand something, you have to like understand why something is how it is, you know? Like, if you're gonna say Genji's overpowered, right? Like, that's a good statement, or that's like a fair statement. You just say it. It doesn't have any weight. But then you say something like, oh, because his Dragon Blade's really strong, and because blah blah blah, he gets too many kills and the dash resets and all this shit, right? But then you go into the game and you play Genji and you realize how hard it is to like get a good Dragon Blade. Or you'll say Ana's overpowered, and like Ana probably is overpowered. But in order to play Ana, you need to understand how to kill Ana. So when I play Tracer, right, I know how to kill Ana's now, or like not kill Ana's rather. Like, you know when you're not going to get the kill, and you know when you are going to get the kill. But if you don't play Tracer, as an Ana, you're not going to be as good at killing Tracers as if you had played Tracer. Like, when I play Ana, I'm not as scared of Tracers because I know how to beat Tracer, because I've played Tracer and lost to Ana's. And like, people don't take the time to do stuff like that. I feel like that's one of the things that's hindering the pro scene right now, is that the pros don't play the other heroes or the other classes that they need to. So like, you'll see people beef ults because they're not used to the limitations of the enemies that they're up against. One example, I guess, being if you're playing Reinhardt against another Reinhardt, or not another Reinhardt, like a Reinhardt against a Zarya, right? And that's a pretty common matchup, and it goes either way 9 times out of 10, because like Zarya can get in on the shield, she can survive the charge if she gets her bubble off, right? She does a shit ton of damage. Like, I'm just talking like a 1v1. You'll know how to take that fight as both heroes if you play the other hero. Like, you know what Zarya's limitations are. You figure out how much damage your charge does, like all this stuff. But with Sombra, what's happening right now is people are like looking at her skills and they're just like making blanket statements. So like, people are saying, okay, what's the first skill? It's the invis. Isn't it here? Ammo. So like, alright, machine pistol. Her gun by itself, pretty garbage. You have to be like literally touching someone for it to get kills. She is super good at cleaning up team fights, but she's not really good at initiating team fights. She's not really good mid team fight either. I mean, without her ult. The times where she's really good though are when like the team fight's over, everyone's like 5 HP, she sees them through the wall, she goes and kills them. You could make the argument that a team fight like that where she's good is one where you've won already. If you're playing defense on Dorado or Hanamura or something, your defensive team gets a kill, maybe like 2 people died, maybe 4 people are still alive on the offensive team, but they're all backing up because they're low. The difference between Sombra being able to clean up, first of all, if you go in for those kills and you die, it wasn't worth it. And if you do get the kills, it doesn't really affect the game outcome much because all you did was reset their spawns, but they were going to have to wait for the people that died anyway. So she's really good post-team fight and like arguably mid-team fight if it's long, but most team fights in this game are very short, like 5 or 10 seconds. So her ability, like the wall hack ability on paper is really strong, but the more you play her, the more you realize that there's not a lot of times where players are running around at less than half health just because of how fast heals work and stuff. Like if someone's low, you know about it. The only heroes that benefit from hiding are like Winston, Genji, and a low Tracer. But I don't think they'll even run Tracer against her, if at all. She definitely counters some heroes, but she gets countered just as hard. So like, I don't know, let's look at this thing. Where's the hero list? Just talk about her counters. Genji, people thought that Genji was good against her. I saw someone say this in like Pro Talk or something, and they said Genji's really good against Sombra, but I don't know why they think that is. Like the second that Genji deflects or switches to deflect, he just gets hacked and he dies. So it might be like a trade thing, but I think Sombra like plows Genji pretty hard. McCree is very good against her because the flashbang is just a free kill. Pharah is very good against her because her gun, you need to be like up close and personal to get kills, and Pharah can just outrange her gun. Like you tickle a Pharah from across the map. Reaper and her, it's kind of null. Like there's no either way. I don't think either of them do well against each other particularly. Like a hacked Reaper still has 250 health. 76 versus her. 76 is pretty good too, because if you get, depends on who initiates, I guess, this fight. If she initiates on 76, I think 76 dies, but if 76 gets the heal station down, he should win. Tracer versus her is pretty even, but her escapability is very like hard to deal with. And mid fight, if she hacks a Tracer or a like ults a Tracer, then the Tracer just dies. Bastion, whatever. Hanzo's really good against her because you get the Sonic Arrow and it like slows her down. She can't flank as easily. Scatter Arrow is also really good at denying her from getting invis. Like if you think she's invis somewhere, you can just throw a Scatter Arrow and it'll, if it breaks it, it's good. Junkrat is Junkrat. I mean, don't pick Junkrat. But if you see a translocator, you can put a trap down on a translocator and kill the Junkrat. But a silenced Junkrat, pretty bad, I guess. I mean, you don't want to ult either as Junkrat, because if you don't see the Sombra can just like come get you while you're using Riptire. Mei is really good against Sombra, because if you see her running away, you can put up a wall and stop her from going up a hallway or something, and then you just like hold down mouse 1 and spy check for her. Torbjorn is weird. She can hack turrets, but the turret has to not be shooting at you, so it's not that easy. I think she shits on Widowmaker. I think Widowmaker actually gets completely removed from the game by her because of her mobility, the fact that she can hack. The hack is pretty quiet. Her coming out of invis is also really quiet. Her gun does more damage than Widow's SMG. I mean, obviously you can hit headshots, and Widow ult will reveal her for full time, but all that does is like give you an exact timer of when wall hacks run out, because you can just go invis and wait for it to run, like get rid of the notification. I felt like D.Va makes her hard to kill, or D.Va and her like kind of stalemate. If D.Va puts up Matrix, you can hack her through Matrix, so then you like just screw D.Va, but D.Va does so much damage when she gets in close, like at the range that Sombra wants to be in, so Sombra's not actually ever going to kill a D.Va. Reinhardt if you get the jump, Roadhog if you get the jump, Winston if you get the jump. Like it depends on who initiates on who and like who's shooting at who. Sombra hacks get reset if she takes damage. Wouldn't that make it hard for her to hack a Tracer? I mean, yeah, but if she's like distracted or you're reloading or you get in from behind or she's shooting someone else, like Tracer like has to shoot Sombra the entire time. Zarya versus Sombra. Zarya's always going to be good, but the EMP really removes Zarya's. Ana versus Sombra. I think Sombra is one of the more reliable counters to Ana now, because if you get the jump on Ana and she doesn't hear you hacking her, she just dies. Like, obviously it's not that simple, but Sombra can live. Like Ana doesn't kill Sombra if Sombra gets the hack off, because Sombra can just run away. I mean, you could say that about every hero, but Ana doesn't have like sustained damage to stop her from going invis or something. Lucio's whatever, these heroes are whatever. So that's that. The hack is really strong if you initiate with it, but if you initiate on the wrong hero or you pick the wrong hero, you just die, because there's so many ways for you to get killed in this game. Like, people, I definitely, if people run her, I definitely foresee people burning Earth Shatters to kill her. Like if you see her go invis, just Earth Shatter in that general direction. You can't really do well against Mei. Like Wall stops her ult, and Blizzard will reveal her if you like try to walk through it. Whatever. Translocator is really cool. I feel like it's up too much. I don't know if it's up too much, but I feel like she has this all the time. Like her mobility is crazy. If you like lose a team fight on offense or something, instead of going 76, you might just go Sombra now because you'll get back to the fight faster than 76. And like she's on par with Tracer in terms of mobility across the map. She's probably the most mobile hero in the game because you can arguably get across the most distance the quickest, and you can like escape with like the most cover. Like you can drop the translocator, go invis, run around for 10 seconds, do some damage, hack somebody, try to get a kill, and then go back to the translocator. So like she's really annoying, but she's not, her kill potential isn't that high. Because you have to, again, you have to win your 1v1, and your gun has like ridiculous spread. And then her ult. Like, okay, let's talk about her ult. Because I feel like there's a lot of people who think their ult is overpowered, and I think it kind of is in the right situations. But I don't find it more overpowered than Earthshatter, and I definitely don't find it more overpowered than Graviton. So everything's relative, right? Like the more you say the word overpowered, the less value it holds. The ability to just shut down 5 heroes is definitely really cool and all, but it's an ult. Like, I agree that in this game overall, ults are way too strong. Like, if I were going to nerf ults like the way that they wanted to nerf ults this patch, I would make every ult 25% less good, not 25% less up. I would make it 25% less good. I'd make like Graviton's pull radius 25% lower. I would make Dragon Blade last 25% less, or do 25% less damage. I would make Lucio armor be 25% lower. Or like High Noon does 25% less damage per tick. Like that's how I would nerf this game, or that's how I would make this game better. I think if I were gonna do it instead of the ult time, because stuff like EMP, it's good. It has massive. It has pretty big AOE. You don't really see it coming. But you have to like combo it, you know? You have to, like, it's not like you're just gonna EMP 5 people and they're all just gonna die. Like the times where this is really good is if you're trying to end a map, but again, I don't think you're gonna run on offense. But you might run on offense just for cheese, or not really cheese, but for like safe team fights. Because Graviton into EMP, there's not much the enemy team can do. They're actually just all gonna die. Or if you hit a big enough Graviton. And that's really the problem too, is like some hero, like you have to hit the supports with the EMP, both of them, or you're gonna lose the fight anyway. Because if you don't hit a Zenyatta and then you EMP, the Zenyatta's just gonna hit Trans and just go save her teammates, or save his teammates rather. And then if you don't hit the Lucio, then the Lucio just hits sound barrier, and suddenly the enemy team is just infinitely tankier. They're not dying. If you don't hit Zarya on the enemy team, she can like still save her teammates. So while EMP is good, it relies on the enemy team having bad positioning, which I think is why she's going to be so good on defense, because if you do run her on defense, you have to think about it in the sense of like, do you think she's better than Mei, or do you think she's better than Lucio Zen? I don't know. The times where she's really good though is like, I guess picture 2 CP maps, you're holding Hanamura and the enemy team's pushing in, you're down a player, you're just down a player. Your teammate just fed the Hanzo, got like a scatter arrow, and now you're down a Mei, and you're like, guys, I don't know what to do, we lost. If she jumps into the middle of 5 people, hits an EMP, like you're gonna win that team fight when you're holding last, because you'll get a kill. If you don't get a kill out of an EMP ult, you probably screwed up. The only time I think you'll run on offense is if you run like some crazy dive comps, and I feel like dive comps might come back in this meta, like with this patch, because it's worth it to try, because if ults are up less, then skirmishing becomes more valuable. If you can hack a Mei, like, you just kill her. Like, some heroes are so reliant on their abilities to escape. Like, a hacked Reaper can kind of fight back. A hacked Mei can't really do anything. I don't know. I picture like people going on Numbani and running like Winston Tracer Sombra offense or something. And then you like hack somebody, and then the Tracer comes in, and the Winston comes in. You just kill them one at a time, and you just like Tracer rewinds, Winston jumps out, and then Sombra translocates back, and then suddenly 3 people come in, get a kill, and they just get the hell out. Like that will be really cool if teams start doing that. I don't know how long it'll take for someone to get good at it, because again, you have to be good at this hero. Like this hero is not an easy hero to play. In terms of mechanical micro, she's probably on par, if not higher, than Genji. Especially because her aim is hit scan and you have to track with it. So, yeah, I don't know. Teams that can run Tracer, 2 Tracers, which isn't a lot of teams, might be able to pull that off, but there's not a lot of teams that can pull that off. Which is another point that I wanted to make, is that I feel like the meta got stale because of the limitations on the players, not because on the limitations of the game. As the game went on, we saw like this massive influx of May Reaper Zarya, which I thought was okay. I mean, even without nano boosts, like forget nano boost, May Reaper Zarya is still a really good combo. Even McCree Reaper May, or McCree Zarya May is really good. But people couldn't counter it because they couldn't play the heroes. Not because there's no counter, but because they can't execute the counters. Pharah against the May Reaper Zarya is really good if you're on offense, because you can just get the kills. I mean, obviously defense can switch to McCree, and we saw that in a few tournaments, but that relies on someone dying. So the other thing that's true too is that Pharah gets dumpstered by McCree, but you can kind of play Pharah behind the shield, like on the ground, just like floating instead of in the air, like getting shot in the head like an idiot. Like, I don't know. I feel like people didn't really push Pharah to the limit that she could have potentially been at. Like in TF2, there was this pocket soldier and there was the roaming soldier. And roaming soldier was kind of like the Winston. You would just like go in, get in the air, like be a distraction, try to do damage and die. And then there was like the pocket, and you didn't really jump that much as pocket. You just stayed with your mercy and like your medic and stayed alive. So I felt like there was always potential for Rocket Barrage to like be this trump card on the ground, like without getting in the air, but no one really ever did it. I guess most times because you could argue that High Noon and McCree were better, but against Reaper and May, I would say Pharah is pretty safe of a, and Zarya too. I mean, Anna was probably the problem more than anything. I think there's more playstyles for some heroes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. The one thing I really don't like about her kit, though, is the health pack thing, because the way the game works right now is, like, there's not many resources, you know? Like, there's no armor, there's no mana, there's no... or ammo, rather, not armor. There's no armor. No ammo, there's no mana, there's no costs to anything. Like, health packs are literally the only thing in the game that are a resource. I don't like the idea of a hero removing the ability to use the map's resources. It was really frustrating to me playing Tracer or Winston the other day, and you go to a health pack, like you try to juke somebody to go play the health pack, and you just can't play the health pack because the health pack's gone. I thought that was dumb. Especially because if you go pick it up, it doesn't even like let you pick it up. It like leaves it there. Like if anything, you should hack the health pack and then the enemy team picks it up and then it doesn't do anything. At least this way it denies it from the enemy team. So even if it's not going to heal you, at least you removed it from the map for X amount of time. At least just so you have like that little bit of window. Because health packs are so strong in this game because they don't even give percentage health. They give flat 250 on a mega. So... just being able to take a fight on a health pack that you know is going to be there, I don't like the idea. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I think it's dumb. I also don't like the idea of trying to like push into Route 66 or Dorado or other map is like very health pack reliant. Gibraltar to an extent, where if you just hack the health pack on Gibraltar in the server room at the beginning of the map, like you can just control that entire area with 1 or 2 heroes that maybe wouldn't have been able to do that. It's very obnoxious, I think. I don't know. I just think that should be nerfed in some way if it involves, like, I want counterplay for that specific thing. Even if it's like you pick up the health pack and it doesn't kill you, but it resets the hack. Like, that'd be really okay. That's okay in my mind. Like, make that happen or something along those lines. Even if it did 5 damage to you and you could trade 5 damage to unhack the health pack, I think that'd be worth it. Because then you could also run Tracer to counter Sombra and you could just like go unhack all the health packs and just tank it for your team and like that's fine. I don't like the idea of health packs being like completely up. Or yeah, like half health, 10% health. Like if they just did less, like maybe a hacked health pack gave you less health than it normally did. Like anything that isn't just completely removes it from the map and you can't pick it up, but the enemy team can pick it up and now whatever. It's not. I don't like it. What else did people say was overpowered? They said there's no counterplay to EMP. Like that was a complaint, and they said like it made the game bad. I don't agree with that at all. Because I don't think that there's like a counter. Like the counter to EMP is good positioning. Like if you know the enemy team, this happens so often with like low level players, even high level players do this. Like if you know the enemy team, if you don't have like look at your lineup, right? If you have a Zarya, you're playing Zarya. Enemy team has a Zenyatta. This is a very common thing, or it will be again soon. If you have Graviton and you don't have Pulse Bomb combo, you need to wait for the Transcendence to be off the table, or else your Graviton's not going to do anything. Like the counterplay is to be aware of what is going on in the game at that moment. So you could say Transcendence counters Graviton. You could say EMP counters Sound Barrier. Cool, whatever, fine, right? But you can like force the game's hand when you're playing it when you're on defense sometimes, or offense rather. So like in general, I'd say defense always has the not advantage in like they don't generally have the advantage in this game because of the way the game works. Like offense can kind of start trying to bait out ults and like overcommit for kills and stuff like that to force ults out of defense. Like to say there's no counterplay to EMP is almost the same as saying there's no counterplay to like surviving Graviton. Because like if you were going to get hit by a 5-man EMP, you arguably would have been hit by a 5-man Graviton. I understand why it's different and like the concept of being silenced and stuff, but people will get used to it, you know? Like you're just not going to group up against the Sombra. She wants you to be grouped up if she has ult. And if you can just go tank the ult too. You could be like, alright guys, they have Sombra ult, let's just go eat it. And like that'll be a thing. Like that's always been a thing. That's how Zarya works. Like you go in, you pop Dragon Blade, you force out Transcendence, and then the next fight you come back with Graviton, they don't have a Transcendence. Like I don't think there's anything in this game that's actually uncounterable. Like uncounterable involves, I don't know. It involves like it removes positioning as a counter, and I think positioning as a counter is completely valid. So I don't mind this. Like you'll just see Zenyatta's against Sombra, and even though Zenyatta gets boned by Sombra because she removes all the what's it called? All of the shields, the Zenyatta can just counterplay that by staying all the way in the back and being ready with Transcendence for when the EMP goes off. So unless the Sombra EMPs the Zenyatta, but hopefully the Zenyatta is not close enough to the team so that it hits both of them, like you gotta choose, right? I'm not convinced that this is that crazy. I mean, EMP into High Noon will be very strong. EMP into a Winston by himself will be pretty strong. But again, it relies on bad position. Just like Graviton relies on bad position. Which is why you don't really see that many really big Gravitons in matches that often. Unless it's like King of the Hill or something. And like you know exactly where they're coming. But as strong as EMP is and as strong as Hakkar's abilities, her damage is so low that I'm not sold on how you even fit her into a lineup. Like, you still need Lucio. Or Mercy. I guess you could get away with one or the other now. It cancels High Noon. It cancels channels. It cancels Barrage mid cast. It cancels Road Hoggle. It cancels High Noon. It cancels Death Blossom. Would trading EMP for killing Zen be worth? It depends on the situation, right? Like, that's where the hero is cool. Let's say you have Graviton combo, and you know that the Zenyatta has, like, let's say you're trying to finish a map or something on King's Row, just for argument's sake. I don't know that you'll run Sombra on offense, but where she'd be really good is, like, if you knew that you had, like, let's say you're running some really theoretical pub comp. Like, it's just pretend it's a pub. You have Hanzo's Zarya Sombra, and you know they have a Zenyatta. Like, it's definitely worth it for the Sombra to just go EMP and kill the Zenyatta, or it's just so you can Graviton and hit the combo. Like, that's cool. Like, I like that. I mean, it's the same as arguably sticking a Zenyatta. It's easier to do, but it's higher cost. And then there's also the chance that, like, maybe a McCree saw you or a Winston, you get, like, flashbang killed. You're trading an ult for an ult, so I'm okay with that too, but I don't like the idea of saying things are uncounterable. Her translocator is super strong. She's just an annoying ass hero because she's also really good at spawn camping, and I think that's another thing that people don't do enough. I don't know why they don't do it, like running Tracer just to spawn camp, or running Tracer as a spawn camper. Teams never really ran Tracer enough, I don't think, in this patch. Like, you go on Hanamura and you literally just dive a Tracer and a Winston onto the enemy supports at the beginning of the game. Like, forget the Mei choke and stuff. Just dive a Winston and a Tracer with a bubble. You can even charge your Reinhardt if you want. Just go all in with 4 people. Kill the Zenyatta or the Ana or the Lucio. Just kill one of them. It doesn't matter. Maybe you'll get 2. Maybe you'll just win the fight. But kill them and then just die immediately. And then respawn and come back. And then take another fight when they don't have their healers. Like, people never did that. And I don't know why they never did that. I guess they don't think about it. But there's a lot of times on, like, Hanamura defense where you can spawn camp as Tracer, and even if you die, it doesn't matter because you'll respawn before the hero that killed you gets to the point to cap anyway. So, I don't know. It's very situational. I mean, spawn camping is situational, but running her on defense on, like, Volskaya or Anubis or something, like, you can definitely get away with just harassing people in the back. She's super good at harassing people in the back, but again, her 1v1 potential is, like, very weird. I don't know. You guys have any questions? That's kind of where I'm at.
What?
Whoa, 10 circles. Thanks for the subscription, man. I don't really have any other thoughts. Like, I don't like the health pack thing. The health pack thing should be changed. I don't think the ult is too strong. I think the ult is fine in the context of the fact that there's way more overpowered shit in this game. To say that that's the breaking point is weird. Spawn camping on B points is necessary. That's what I mean. Like, running around B point defense will be very good, and spawn camping will definitely be very good. On some maps, obviously not all of them. But the ability to get in behind and, like, 1v1 in Ana without any abilities is really good. The camo, people are like, oh my god, invis, but you play Winston or something, you can just stop the invis. Like, you can't use invis to escape reliably ever. So initiating with invis is arguably just as bad as initiating with Tracer Blink. I mean, Tracer has way more kill potential. I don't like comparing her to Tracer, but if you have to use camo just to get in, then is it really that bad? Yeah, but alright. The ult cancels all enemy abilities, so you don't have to actually kill the Zen before you grab. That's the point, though, right? Like, the Zen's not going to be in the Graviton because the Zen's positioning is better than, like, than normal. So, like, if the Zenyatta's waiting for the Graviton to jump into it, and then you stop stop him from getting into the Graviton, then that's really good. Assuming that you're going to Graviton the Zenyatta is not what I'm going for, I guess, there. See what I'm saying? Do you think Sombra will replace a support position or a DPS position? I think she'll replace a support position, but only on defense she'll replace a support position. On offense, I could see her replacing like a Genji in a dive comp. EMP doesn't cancel trance. That's what I'm saying. Like, you EMP the Zenyatta that's in the back by himself, and then you pop Graviton and you wipe the enemy team because the Zenyatta's dead. That's when she's good. But I think she'll replace supports. But I think you could definitely run her in a dive comp. I think Sombra, Tracer, Winston is probably going to be like the new patch flavor of the month for a little while on some teams. I mean, that comp might get countered really hard by like May, Roadhog, and McCree or something, but it would be cool to try. But yeah, using Sombra on defense I think is going to be really annoying. I think pushing like Numbani without health packs is going to be frustrating. Or just knowing that the enemy Winston or Tracer always can get to the health pack before you, or like be more efficient. That's where she gets annoying. I like how they blot out her name here. Okay, I mean, if you really want to argue that Zenyatta is never going to be in a position to get into a Graviton without being in range of an EMP, that's just wrong. Like, that's actually just wrong. There's no argument there. That's just a waste of breath. And if you really want to take it another step further, you could say you would EMP a Mercy, and then you would save it for when the Mercy comes in for the ult. So, yeah, Mercy, and then Mercy is res, like that's good. You're not gonna Graviton the Mercy, or are we like assuming that too? I don't understand. Like saying that there's no range, whereas Zenyatta can get into a Graviton. You exclusively diving supports to Sombra? No, like the point was that you could just use Sombra to initiate on supports and then like pop combos afterwards. What do you think of the Mercy self heal buff? It's definitely like good, but I really don't think that it solves her issue of dying during res. Like I think Mercy's problem is that first of all she like has to bait the whole team. She can't really be in the middle of a fight. She can't defend herself. She's like a weird bot hero that like kind of relies on your teammates being good, not on you being good. EMP is LOS. EMP gets countered by wolves. Suicide res is stupid. Yeah, I mean it is, but not on some maps. EMP is definitely not the same LOS as Sound Barrier. It's not the same AoE as Sound Barrier. Like that is definitely not true. You see it has a range right there. It's like May Blizzard, a little bit bigger, if not it's smaller. I don't know. Like watch this video. See the range right here. I mean this is super zoomed in. From the cap point to like the wall. Like it's like the size of that middle section. It's not actually that crazy. So whatever. No, it's definitely LOS. Like if you're not if you're behind a wall, it won't hit you. Like if a Sombra comes in, you pop a Mei wall down and you're behind it, you're not going to get ulted. And yeah, it's not that big. Like it's not some crazy, like you guys think that you can't pop Transcendence from outside of a blizzard. Like that's essentially what you're saying here, is that I think that that's the effect. I don't think it's that wide because I've hit it before. Like I've done it before. It's definitely bigger than Blizzard. It's a little bit bigger than Blizzard. I don't. I think that that's just the effect going out though. I don't think that that's the actual true range of the ults. Like I don't think it actually goes out back that deep. I think it's just like the effect that it shows on the screen when it goes back. But whatever. Point being, to say that like a Zenyatta is always going to be in line of sight of a Sombra is wrong. It's like, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on the fact that I'm not sold on the overpoweredness of her ult, or like that she's unhealthy for the scene. Because if you want to know what's unhealthy for the scene, like Roadhog hooks are unhealthy for the scene. Like Scatter Arrow is unhealthy for the scene. That's about it. Mei, I could argue, is unhealthy for the game's longevity. She's annoying, but I don't find her broken. I'm sure some team will find cancer for this patch, like just some new crazy way to win the games that is like unorthodox and kind of dumb, but I don't know what it'll be. And I'm kind of more excited for what the symmetric changes are too, because that'll definitely change the way I look at it. Maybe Symmetra counters her some way, like maybe the new turrets have like True Sight or something, and you can like pop down a Symmetra turret and like give you vision. I don't know, I just made that up, but whatever. Zarya on PTR feels awful. But yeah, that's this video. I'm done here. I got nothing else unless you guys got something else. You'll see less Anna. You'll see more Lucio. You'll see more Pharah. You'll see a little bit of Sombra, probably about as much Sombra as you saw Reaper. Or like you used to see Reaper, I guess, or as much as you used to see Pharah. Like situational, not 100% pick. I think Reinhardt's still 100% pick. I think Mei is still 100% pick. Zarya won't be 100% pick more, I don't think. Just on offense. And I think Roadhog might become better too, just because of the fact that getting picks will be so important. But I don't know. I think that hero switching, I think this will be like a very hero switch oriented patch. Like I don't think people are gonna be running the same for a long time. Like I don't ever want to see Mei Reaper Zarya ever again, and I don't think that you'll see it this patch anymore. Hopefully it comes down to which teams swap the best, which I think is probably the only real intricacy of this game when it comes to like team fights and stuff, is like which team makes the better swaps at the better times and like executes their strategies better. Because watching teams just blindly run nano booster Reapers and like grab a ton pulse bombs is really awful. So yeah, that's that stream. We're done here. Thanks for watching. Sub to YouTube, Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. Sell out, sell out, sell out.